Welcome to the deep dive. Our mission is pretty straightforward. We take source material, jump right in, and pull out those absolutely crucial nuggets of knowledge for you.
Yep. Think of it as your shortcut to being well-informed without having to wade through everything yourself.
We do the waiting for you.
Yeah.
And today we're diving into something really important, especially if you've found yourself in a tough spot, choosing a personal injury attorney.
Right. And we're basing this on some solid sources. You provided a detailed study guide and a complete guide on exactly this. They really lay out a clear path.
Which is exactly what you need, because honestly, if you've been injured because someone else was negligent, a car crash, a fall, whatever it might be, picking the right lawyer,
Yeah.
that's a huge decision.
Oh, absolutely huge. It impacts the outcome, obviously, but also your stress levels, how fast things get resolved. It affects a lot.
It really does. It's got massive personal and financial weight. So having the right info up front is, well, essential.
So let's unpack what these guides tell us. We'll go step by step, pulling out the key stuff to help you make a really confident choice if you ever need to.
Okay, let's start at the beginning. What is a personal injury attorney? Seems basic, but the guides define it clearly.
They do. They're legal pros who specialize specifically in cases where someone suffered a physical or psychological injury because someone else messed up, negligence, or wrongdoing.
And their main job, according to the sources,
Advocating for victims, you, if you're the one injured, helping you get compensation for all the damages, medical bills, lost wages, pain and suffering, all of it.
so they give legal advice, they negotiate settlements.
Which often means dealing with insurance companies, yeah.
And they'll represent you in court if it comes to that.
Yeah.
You're a legal champion, essentially.
Exactly. And this leads right into why this choice is so critical. The sources don't mince words here.
No, they really don't. They say it can make the difference between winning a case or walking away with little or nothing. That's stark.
It is. And they list the benefits of getting it right. A good attorney maximizes your compensation, navigates the often baffling legal system.
Totally baffling.
Right. They gather evidence properly, they know how to negotiate effectively with insurers, and crucially, they protect you from making mistakes that could hurt your case.
And the flip side, the wrong lawyer. The sources warn about that, too.
Yeah, things like missing deadlines, huge problem, or maybe they just aren't motivated, or worse, they pressure you into a bad settlement just to close the file.
Ugh. Really highlights why you need to choose carefully.
Definitely. And one point that comes through loud and clear in both guides is specialization. You have to find someone who handles the specific type of injury claim you have.
Okay, I was wondering about that. Why so specific? Isn't personal injury law, personal injury law?
That's a fair question, but the guides explain that different case types need really different expertise. Like car accidents involve traffic laws, insurance tactics specific to auto claims.
Whereas medical malpractice needs someone who understands medical standards, complex procedures,
Yeah.
totally different knowledge base.
Precisely. Or product liability, defective products, that's another whole area. Premises liability, like falls. Different rules again. Workplace injuries often involve workers' comp laws.
And wrongful death cases.
Yeah.
Those are incredibly sensitive and complex legally and emotionally.
Right. So the takeaway isn't just find a personal injury lawyer. It's find one with deep, proven experience in your specific type of case. That's paramount, according to these guides.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So how do you actually find this specialized expert? The guides lay out a pretty structured process, like a roadmap.
They do. It's an 8-step approach. And interestingly, it starts before you even talk to any lawyers.
What's step one?
Understand your needs first. Basically, do a bit of self-assessment. The sources say, think about how severe is your injury? Is fault obvious, or is it complicated? What's the insurance situation like? And importantly, what are you hoping for settlement, or are you prepared for trial?
Getting that clarity first helps you evaluate lawyers more effectively later. Smart.
Exactly. Then you move to step 2. Start with research. Build that initial list of names.
And the guides suggest reliable places to look.
Yes, personal referrals are always good, if you have them. State bar associations often have directories, sometimes listing certified specialists.
Yeah.
Reputable online directories, they mention Avvo, Super Lawyers, Martindale Hubble specifically. Google and Yelp reviews too, but read those carefully, Look for patterns.
Sure, take online reviews with a grain of salt, but they can offer clues.
Yeah.
And the law firm's own websites, presumably.
Definitely. Check their sites for testimonials, case results, their listed practice areas. The goal here is to get a short list, maybe 3 to 5 names, before you start making calls for consultations.
Right, a manageable number. So list in hand. What's step 3?
Evaluate credentials and experience. And this goes beyond just how long they've been a lawyer.
Okay, what else are we looking for according to the guides?
First, obviously, make sure they're licensed and in good standing with the state bar. That's basic. But then look for actual trial experience. If your case might go to court, you need someone who's comfortable there.
Not just someone who settles everything.
Right. Look for a proven track record settlements, verdicts, especially in cases like yours. Any relevant certifications are a plus, but that specific case type experience just keeps coming up.
It really seems to be the core message there. Which leads into step 4.
Check reputation and reviews. This is broader than just experience. It's about their standing in the legal community and with past clients.
How do you check that?
Peer reviews are good. Martindale Hubbell does this, where other lawyers rate them. Then client reviews on Google, Avvo, Yelp give you that firsthand perspective.
And crucially,
check the State Bar website for any disciplinary actions or malpractice claims. That's public info and really important. Awards or recognition can be an indicator, but the clean disciplinary record is key.
so look for consistent positive feedback and no red flags from the bar.
Got it. Now, step 5 is where you get really active. Ask the right questions in consultations. The guides stress preparing a list beforehand. Don't just wing it.
Makes sense. What are some key questions they recommend?
Get specific. How many cases just like mine have you handled? Nail down that relevant experience. What's your general success rate? Understanding it's not a guarantee.
What's your approach? Settlement versus trial. Good to know their philosophy.
And a big one. Will you personally handle my case, or will it be passed off? You need to know who you'll actually be dealing with.
Definitely. And the money question. What are your fees? Free consultation. Get that clear early.
How long might this take? Managing expectations is vital. And what do you need from me? Clarify your role.
And the sources say a good lawyer will welcome these questions.
Absolutely. They should answer clearly, honestly, without being defensive. How they handle your questions tells you a lot.
Which flows right into step 6. Evaluate communication style. The soft skills, as the guys call them, but they sound pretty crucial for a long-term relationship.
Totally crucial. Are they responsive? Do they return calls, emails promptly? Do they explain things clearly without jargon? Are they transparent about challenges, timelines, fees?
And empathy, do they actually listen? Do you feel heard?
Exactly. The guides also list red flags here. Seeming rushed, distracted, delegating all communication. Pay attention to how you feel during and after the meeting.
Okay. Step 7 is the nitty-gritty. Review the fee structure. Mostly contingency fees and personal injury, right?
Almost always, which means they only get paid if you win. It's usually a percentage of the award.
The guides say typically 33% to 40%.
That's the common range, yes. But you must ask clarifying questions. Is the percentage different for settlement versus trial? Are there any upfront costs? Who pays for expenses like court fees, medical records, expert witnesses as they come up?
And the big one the sources highlight is the fee taken before or after expenses are deducted. That makes a real difference in your pocket.
A huge difference. You need absolute clarity on that calculation. And the non-negotiable rule from the guides, get a written fee agreement detailing everything. No exception.
Crystal clear.
Yeah.
Okay, final step, step 8. Assess compatibility and trust. This feels less about law and more about connection.
It really is. The guides treat it just as importantly. This could be someone you work with for months, maybe years, during a really tough time. So you need to ask yourself, do I trust this person? Do I feel respected? Do they explain things well? Do I believe they're motivated to help me?
It's that gut feeling again. Even if they look great on paper, if the trust isn't there.
The guide suggests you should probably keep looking. That rapport is vital.
Speaking of gut feelings, the sources also collect a list of specific red flags to actively watch out for during this whole process.
Yeah, definite warning signs. Number 1, anyone guaranteeing a win or a specific dollar amount.
Ethical lawyers just don't do that.
Nope. Big red flag. Also, high-pressure tactics to sign right away. Lack of transparency about fees, their experience, the process. Seeming like they're taking on way too many cases suggests maybe yours won't get enough attention. And consistently poor communication, unreturned calls, vague answers.
And the advice is simple. Trust your instincts. If something feels off, pay attention.
Absolutely. So once you do choose someone, the guides briefly touch on what to expect next.
Right. The process starts.
Yeah.
Investigation, medical stuff, demand letter to the insurer, negotiation.
And maybe litigation and trial prep if needed. Your lawyer handles the heavy lifting.
But critically, their job includes keeping you informed and involving you in big decisions. It shouldn't feel like your case disappeared into a black hole.
Exactly. That communication and transparency have to continue after you hire them.
So pulling all this together from the guys, the core message is undeniable. Picking the right personal injury lawyer is a massively important decision post-injury.
And the roadmap is clear. Understand your needs first. Research carefully. Evaluate experience, reputation, communication. Ask the right questions. Get fees in writing. And trust your gut.
The bottom line from these sources seems to be, don't rush it. Find someone competent, specialized, and someone you truly believe will fight for you.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with, based on how detailed this process is. Considering how much this one relationship, your relationship with your attorney, can impact your recovery, your finances, your future, how does approaching this decision with this level of care compare to other big choices you make in life? Are you giving it the weight it deserves?
Definitely something to ponder. We really hope this deep dive has given you the clarity and the tools you need if you ever face this situation. Thanks for diving deep with us.
Until next time.